So we've got the fluted cutter.
Right, and you dip it into the flour between cuts.
And actually, these plastic ones are fantastic because
I
the
like
metal
them
ones
too.
rust. They seem to always rust.
Agreed. So straight down without twisting, if you can manage, because that way you're not compressing the sides and it will rise better. And we have prepared parchment lined cookie sheet or half sheet pan, and just drop it down and you can see how the layers are completely released. Want to try one?
Absolutely.
If I like soft sides to my biscuit, I'll put them 1/4 inch apart because they'll spread a little and then they won't be crispy on the sides, but I like crispy all around. So I will do them a little bit further apart, just as you did.
Now at this point,
you can brush off any extra flour, which we don't have any because we didn't add any to the top. And this is a pretty wild pastry board. I'm taking some cooled melted butter, brushing it on the top.
oh, and I see you have a little bit of the turbinado sugar here. Is that for a little sprinkling?
Exactly, and that will make a crisp crust on the top. Also, it will give it a beautiful sparkle.
It certainly does.
And here's another great southern trick for making rising biscuits that rise to their maximum. I preheat the oven to 375, and then I put the biscuits in and turn it up to 400. They call it a rising oven. So
But first, we don't, did they rise again? Do we have?
Oh, I'm so sorry, Dede. You're absolutely right.
These look
We
like
have
beautiful
yes.
risen biscuits.
They have to rise for another hour before they get baked. And you can brush it with the butter before and the sugar, or you can do it right before
Okay,
you're
so
ready
at this
to bake.
point, so if you didn't do it yet, we would do it now, and we can see that they're a little more
You can see, look at the difference,
taller.
because those are the exact same, ½ inch, 3/4 inch, and they rise up to
gorgeous.
double.
So
And then
now
more
tell
when
us,
they get in the oven.
Now tell us
Right.
about that. There's not just a duel. Tell us about the heat. There's a couple of levels of
we
heat.
put it into the preheated 375-degree oven, and then we raise the temperature to 400 for 5 minutes. Then back down to 375 and maybe 10 minutes until they're golden brown, like
And
this.
we've got them over there. And that may sound complicated, but this is obviously all written down very, very clearly in your recipe. So all you have to do is
in my
follow
mind,
along.
mostly.
Well, we would all be so lucky if we had you sitting next to us so that we could just ask. But
Thank you. Now, you can see that you want to divide them in half, and you can use a serrated knife. I like using a 3-tine fork or just a sharp fork to go all the way around because it makes it nice and irregular. You know, the beauty of home baking is that you don't want things to look plastic. It's one thing to use plastic cutters, but you don't want the dough or the biscuits to end up looking like plastic.
these certainly
So we're going
are
all around,
not
all around.
going to. And then we just separate the top. And this gives us a little texture, right?
Yes.
Ah, beautiful.
Yeah, that's lovely.
Well, we have a
So we
plate.
have a serving plate. Shall I get it?
I can get it for you.
And we've prepared the strawberries ahead because it takes about an hour after you sugar the strawberries for them to release the liquid.
So we have them sliced here. They've been sugared, and you can see that they've begun to release a little bit of liquid.
Yeah, well,
Now-
and actually what we do is we drain out the liquid, and then either in a microwave or on the stovetop, we reduce it down. And you see how dark and red it is. It gives more color, to strawberries when they're not at their peak.
And thickened. And this is,
And tense.
people always say to me, what do you use your microwave for? And this is such a perfect example of something you could use.
Instead of covering the whole thing, I like to set it slightly off so that you can peek in and see all the goodness. It makes it so a little jaunty.
Oh, this is excellent.
And that's our strawberry shortcake.
Well, no summer is complete without a delicious strawberry shortcake, and this has to be the most elegant version that I hope you will try at home. Don't go away. We have another summer dessert coming right up.